Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, wrestling fans. Welcome to another edition of the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm Bobby Melendez, joined always by my tag team partner, Josh Kimmel. Josh, what's up, brother?
Man, it is a beautiful, when I mean beautiful, cloudy, rainy, windy Saturday. And I mean it. It's glorious outside. I can step outside, Bobby, and not just go in flames for
Mm.
once, for the first time since probably February. So it's nice. I'm feeling good. I was outside a lot today. I forgot to ask you this pre-show. I have been getting hardcore bat. Not that I didn't. I've always opened my 2 packs a day on Pokemon Pocket. But how I was gonna offer you a trade a couple days ago, and I'm like, you know what? I'll talk to you on the show about it.
Okay.
Pre-show, pre-show about it. I forgot to. How's your Pokemon journey going, buddy?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. It's something I always do. If I have any type of free time, like my wife says, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm gonna turn the TV off." All right, turn it off. She puts white, and ever since we had our kids, since our first, we have white noise machine, and so she's hooked on. That's the only way she can sleep. So we
Mhm.
turn that on and turn over, go to bed, and that's exactly what I do. Is I open that up, and I'm doing a match. I do every season now. New packs. The new pack comes in. I'll do it. And first of all, when I was growing up, when our age, when we were,
Mhm.
I did collect Pokemon cards, but and I watched a cartoon, but I never played the cards. I never understood it back then. I just collected them. Now I understand them. Oh, dude, my wife go, "What's wrong with you?" Because I get so pissed because they throw some random ass card. It's 30 plus attack over it. It's like I was winning and now I'm screwed. So it's like it's a
Mhm.
strategy game. So yes, it's a lot of fun and I still play. I collect. I have a good time.
Cool. All right. Well,
I'm hardcore
wrestling.
into it.
Wrestling happened this week. Summerslam happened, and what's going on? DSG, Adrian, and Lou from Dade. Man, I don't think
Lou,
we're gonna be eye to eye
Adrian.
today. I think we're
Oh,
gonna have a lot of conflicting interests when it comes
you're
to
setting it up now.
this show.
Oh,
I am.
okay.
Um, you know, I watched SummerSlam live Saturday night, the whole thing, and I thought, wow, I wasted my time driving to my. I mean, it wasn't a waste of my time to drive to my friend's house and have fun, and we ordered Jets Pizza and yada yada yada. But like, this was a Saturday night main event show, and then Sunday
Mm.
rolls around, and I'm like, maybe it might get better. No, it actually got worse, and then the end, just demoralizing to me. Um,
Whoa.
so I didn't watch it live. I watch all the matches Sunday live until the literal main event. My son comes in. He wants to watch something else before we go to bed. And I'm like, let's just watch the Cena match, buddy, because he knows John Cena. He's a kid. He knows John Cena. And he doesn't really like the violence and the street fight. He's like, can we just change it? Because he thinks it's too violent. All right, you're 7. I get it, buddy. We'll change it. So I was just watching the next day. Woke up. Did you see this? Oh my God, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did this. I can't, like, 6 text messages.
I didn't do it.
So
I
you
knew
didn't
you
do
were.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know not to do that, but it's
Mhm.
fine. And then so then I'm like, oh, fuck. So then I watch the match immediately. I see the whole situation, and all I have to say is, why? Take everything away from outside. Take all the legal accusations. Take everything away. Just throw it away and just throw it away like it didn't exist. Still, I would still to this day go, why? And then John requested it, maybe possibly it's a big box office. I get it, but again, we have so many other people that he could have worked with, and now we have this again. And I say this again to everybody watching: really break it down. Why? What does this do? Why is Brock back? And again, I didn't watch SmackDown. I'm really pissed they brought Brock back. Like, a lot of fake hate, a lot of fake anger, I would say, a lot of fake aggression. That's the new norm in 2025, 2024. That's how we are now. A lot of people are fake mad about everything. I'm not mad that he's back for the reasons why people are mad.
Mm.
I'm mad he's back because why? I would rather see Drew. If he's going to turn face, which he did, John turned babyface. That was real. That was legit. That was, now looking back at it, that was him going, well, this sucked. This whole run sucked. We're just going to drop everything. That's what it was. Perfect. Turn babyface. We have Drew. We have other people that you can work with. We have freaking. I know Gunther's gonna be out for a while. I get it. I understand. That sucks. It's unfortunate. But there's so many other ways you could have gone, and now we get this meaningless Brock feud that's gonna do nothing for Brock, and it's gonna do nothing for Cena. So it's just there. It's just empty calories. That's the way I look at this whole situation. Empty calories. It's like when you get and Adam Carolla said this one time. You get this huge pie. You want pumpkin, lemon Lorraine, whatever you want, right? And you get it prepared, and then all of a sudden your mom calls, and you're talking to your mom, and you're eating the pie, and before you know it, you're too busy talking to your mom. The pie is gone, and you didn't get to enjoy it. Empty calories. It was pointless. That's what this is. It does nothing for anybody. That's the way I feel. So I'll let you talk.
So I'm gonna start calling you Notre. I don't know his name, Notre Damus. Because you obviously could tell the future. Because I absolutely disagree with you on the John Cena Lesnar thing. Because I think that's fair, right? I mean, no, we should not. We're not ignoring the outside stuff. It's not. It's that's there, and that definitely. And you could criticize it because it's not clear yet, even though it's supposedly legal cleared him and everything else. That case is not over yet. His name is in there, and it's pretty disgusting. That's there. But if we're going to ignore that, then let's just talk about why Brock Lesnar, John Cena. If you're going to bring Brock back for this, why against John Cena? If John Cena is about to end his career, why are we going to, your words, waste it, empty calories on a Brock Lesnar? Because this is the final run. The last time is now. John Cena is on his final run. This is the goodbye tour, right? This is the greatest hits. We saw CM Punk versus John Cena. The world wanted to see that. Real wrestling fans want to see that because that's a historic feud. If Edge was around, we'd see John Cena versus Edge. One off. We saw Randy Orton versus John Cena. We wanted to see that. We cared about that. That's one of John Cena's greatest opponents. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. One of John Cena's greatest rivalries and opponents. That's why. That's the match people want to see. That's the type of match we want to see. I have no care. The one-off, the empty calories match, it would be fun for fans to say, oh, at least we got to see Drew versus John Cena. Would be Drew McIntyre versus John Cena. Why? Why would Drew McIntyre waste his time on a guy who's about to retire? Why? That's not going to get him any kind of championship run. He should be trying to compete for a championship. Go after Cody Rhodes. SmackDown, for those who watch SmackDown, guess what we're going to see at Paris and France? You're not going to see Brock versus John Cena. You're going to see Logan Paul versus John Cena. Drew versus Cody. That's correct. Logan Paul versus John Cena. Hey, inside that ring, I have all respect for Logan Paul. That dude is top notch. I mean, what he's been able to do, nothing but respect. And I can understand maybe on John Cena's point of view and Triple and all these, hey, Logan Paul, he's a part of the future. Maybe, right? With Dominic and those guys. Give him this rub. Sure. But honestly, I don't want to see Logan Paul versus John Cena. That's empty calories. That's a waste of time. There's other guys I'm sure we could find either in the who's had John Cena in the past or had a run in or whatever. I'd rather see that. Let's run it back with Roman one more time. Where the hell is Rock? Call Rock. That's what I would rather see. So to me, and we're not ignoring, but we're not including this topic. What happened outside the ring? You're talking squarely about Lesnar, John Cena. Why is that happening? Who should care? Wrestling fans should care because this is a retirement tour. John Cena's on his last run. Now, John Cena says he didn't request this. They deal him. He takes them. They put the cards out and he plays them. That's what he said. Triple H says, hey, we're doing what John wants. This is John Cena's tour. Both can be true. Guess what? Maybe not for you because you got spoiled by people texting you for whatever reason. They should know better. Josh is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
After a show, do not text Josh. Don't tweet him. He doesn't check tweet anyway. Don't tweet him. Don't DM him. Don't do anything. Wait about 8 a.m. for him to text you, WTF, what the F is this, blah, blah, blah.
8 a.m. That's late, brother.
We,
Texting you like at
it's
6
true. Sorry. 6 a.m. He'll text you because I've gotten those texts before. Don't text him. Now, I'll tell you, to me, I think we all kind of talked about it. DSG threw it out there. I've told about it before because of the Paul Heyman thing. Hey, what if he's the third guy? If it's not Seth, does Brock Lesnar show up? I think I would love to see a Brock, Roman, CM Punk, Paul Heyman group, right? We talked about that for a while. No, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. No. It happened. Nobody thought this was going to happen. Nobody had any idea, truly, Brock was going to come back. So when John Cena is doing his final run, he's waving in the crowd and it's, you can tell the emotion on his face and he's like, man, that was the best I got. And it was. Next to the AJ Styles match, that was maybe one of the greatest, if not the best John Cena match you're ever going to see. It was a great match. Storytelling, the crowd, to me, it felt almost, maybe not even almost, maybe right there to Rock and Hogan. The crowd was behind Cena, not Cody. Every time Cody hit, they booed. When Cena hit, they cheered. That entrance, they came out with the black intro, and then all of a sudden, here comes the colors, and the pop of the crowd, that was real. That's the power John Cena has. All the wannabes out there, the ones who I deserve a chance, cry on social media, hurt feelings and everything else, the IWC out there who are pushing these guys who cry on the internet, and they do all this little random stuff, and they go to other companies and bitch and moan. Take notice on what that is. That's an authentically over guy. Not you. And that's the guy you guys say you can't wrestle. Yet the crowd is going nuts. The kids are crying. The women and men are screaming. They're going nuts. He has you at the palm of his hand. And then he gave you that. Him and Cody did that. And shout out to Cody Rhodes. Because trust me, it is as much him as it is John. But it was an unbelievable match. It was awesome. You couldn't ask for anything more. Honestly, I still think John should have went over. I still think John should have went over. Should have had a little bit of a run with John being the champion. But you know what? I'm one of those fans that's like, hey, let's let it play out. What's the next thing for Cody Rhodes? I know, we know what's going on with John. What's the next thing for Cody Rhodes? Where does that story go from here? So when John's waving at the crowd, I'm kind of like, damn, dude, like he could easily just say, hey guys, I'm done. This was it. I'm going to wrap. I know I'm supposed to end it in December, but I'm going to wrap it up right now because this was the best I could give you. It would have been fine. It would have sucked, but it would have been fine. All of a sudden, he walks out of that ring, and, I kept thinking, I'm like, something's going to happen because they're holding this way too long. And they're starting to do this. The same thing as CM Punk. And all of a sudden, you hear the doom, and the crowd, the roof blew up. Me, I'm a pop, what the, it was disgustingly, and I'm in this, and I'm saying this, disgustingly like, whoa, it's one of those moments where you jump out of your chair and, you see John's face, like, and John tries to go for it, and Lesnar lays him out. And here we go. John versus Brock Lesnar. You did not think you were going to see this. You thought this story was over. There was no chance in hell, no pun intended, no full pun intended, that this was going to happen. Yet it did. And it's going to. And people are going to tune in. And this is better than I want to see Brock versus John Cena more than I want to see Drew versus John Cena, or Gunther versus John Cena, or Logan Paul versus John Cena. I don't care about that. I don't want to see any one-offs. I want to relive the best moments. John versus Randy Orton, CM Punk versus John Cena, Brock versus John Cena. It makes all the sense in the world. Other than the legal stuff, it makes all the sense in the world. The legal stuff is a different conversation. It's in the conversation. We could go all day about that. But if you're going to take that out, like you said at the beginning, yes, if we're eliminating that, but we're talking on just alone, 100% makes all the sense of the world. This is what professional wrestling is all about. The moments, the story.
It's just
let Cody face Drew McIntyre. Let Cody face Logan Paul.
It's just, because you can say take it all out, which I did. I told everyone we're going to take it out. But if you put it in, it makes everything so wrong. They took a huge risk doing this.
100%.
I didn't know because I didn't know the fans didn't take over Raw with the block. I mean, but it's all over social media. Even I saw like I can see that. People are really upset about this. Again, fake outrage. Who's
Well,
really
again, right? And I think Paul Levesque, Triple H has said this in the past about the IWC. It's a lot of internet rate, and again, absolutely, people should be, they're right to criticize. It's not okay. We have daughters. And women in general, it's not okay. You read the text messages, you read the stuff, whatever. Now, if WWE cleared them, that's a different story. But guess what? While the IWC is pissed off in Twitter, in social media, the crowd is screaming. They're popping. They're going nuts. Nobody was booing Brock Lesnar when he came out. Not one person. I did not see one person in that crowd booing him. Everybody jumped up. That was deafening. If you were in that arena, you would have to put a hearing aid because how loud that was. You would have popped an eardrum. So there's, like you say, you got the internet rage, and then you have what the crowd is saying in the arena. And trust me, the decimals were up there. And people in the back, I'm sure Triple H looked at Nick Khan and Bruce Pritchard and all them and went, there it is. That's all we need to know. If Brock would have got booed out of the arena, dead in the water, this probably would have been dead in the water.
What would you do?
Wasn't.
Again, and I don't want to get into the legal stuff because I'm just
I get it. No,
I'm beyond it. But like, what if? How do you think the women feel in that locker room? How do you think they feel?
It's a great point. And we don't know what it was behind the scenes. It's we don't know if they were approached or whatever. Hey, look, hey, this, whatever. I would think maybe some might be feeling a certain type of way. I would think the other ones who there might be someone who say, hey, business is business. It's business. It's what it is. Draws money, and Brock probably comes in, leaves, and goes home. And unless you have the Beckys and the Charlottes and the Rheas and whomever coming out going, this is we can't do this. We can't work with this. We can't do that. Then you might see something change. You might see, hey, you know what? we can't roll with this anymore. But that's not going to happen, I don't think, because I think they're all about let's get it done. They may not like it. We're going to do it.
What would you do if CM Punk, because he's a Mr. Self-righteous. He's a Mr. I would call him a woke individual if I spoke in those terms, which I don't. But he's on that side. He wears the shirts like, women's choices and all that stuff, which whatever. Like I don't get into that stuff at all. You know me. If you know me, I don't get into any of that stuff. But like, what if a big star? Like, here's my thing. And I was talking to Koffler and Clutch about this, and it seemed like they can say whatever they want. They're protecting Cena at this point. If Cena didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout this whole process, Cena's been in interviews, and you've seen him. We've all seen him. DSG seen him. Adrian, we've all seen him. Where Cena's kind of sympathizing for Vince, sticking up for Vince. That's my father figure. Whatever he's going through at the moment. That just tells me something about John. Like, what does he know? What was he involved in? No, I don't know we don't know anything, but I'm sorry, man. Like, you could be close with an employer, or whatever. And if they, if they turn out to do that, like, how could you that always, and I never bring it up because it's something that doesn't never come up, but like, that always bugged me about John in those interviews. Like, I understand that you have to be this PC perfect guy and a spokesperson for the brand, the WWE. But it just gave me like weird vibes from John with all of that stuff. I mean, how did you feel about that? And the fact that he's like, okay, cool, I'll work with Brock. Like, that just adds another layer to this. It just irks me. That's all.
So with the Vince McMahon thing, obviously Vince is a quote unquote father figure to a lot of his superstars or a lot of his people, right? There are some women superstars too who say Vince has been nothing but great to me. I think there's two ways. There's two ways of doing this, right? You could be full on, he's a pig, he's evil, he's this, he's that, all that. And then you have the people that, are close to him like a John Cena, right? Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton did a pretty good answer. Randy Orton was all about like, I don't have it in front of me, but if I remember, Randy Orton was, what he read, what he read was horrible, and it's you got to think, think about the victims, and yeah, I have a relationship with him, but what happened was not right, and John Cena in the way was more like, hey, all I'm going to say is that I love him, and I support him. And he didn't really hit on the accusations. To him, it's more, and I think that's because it's the friend thing. It's loyalty, hustle, loyalty, and respect. Loyalty, respect, loyalty, because Vince gave him his spot. Vince made him who he was. Respect, because again, Vince is who he is. Do I think John is in on anything? Do I think John is against women or whatever? No, I don't want to think that. I don't think that. Do I think it's loyal to a fault? Sure. Do I think the best answer would be, hey, look, and I'll tell you something after the show to give you an example. But to me, the right answer would be, listen, Vince and I have known each other for 20 plus years. I've never seen him do that or any kind of way. He is like a father figure. I've been through some tough spots, and he gave me this, and this, and I love him. I'll just be honest on that. That won't end. The accusations are disturbing. The what's going on is disturbing, and if that's what happens, it's just he'll have to face the justice, whatever justice may be. But that doesn't stop how I feel about him. I still have that. Whatever, that might be the right thing. But the way John Cena, he did not say the whole disturbing and this and that. It was more of just admiration and love for Vince, and telling everybody, hey, if you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. So with Brock Lesnar, I'll answer it the same way I answered about what do the women think of it, or how they should feel about it. I think John is business. It's in the business to leave a lasting memory for his fans before he leaves. If he did request Brock personally, if he said, hey, what's the status on Brock? Is he cleared? Are we just going to, we're waiting until this is over? Well, if he's cleared, I want to have him. Okay, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do it. Because yeah, if this is his final run, it makes more sense to, hey, let's have one more run with Brock Lesnar before I leave. CM Punk, Brock. I mean, again, if Adam Copeland wasn't in AEW, he'd be having a match right now with John Cena. There would be a feud. And yes, I would rather see Edge versus John than Logan Paul versus John Cena. But we're getting Brock. So I know you had said that to me, and it was a great point. You texted me that, like, why would John agree to this? And what does this say about? And it is a great point. But again, the more I think about it, and when you listen to John Cena, it's more of business, memories, and running it back. He's, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on it. I think John is loyal to a fault, and he's pretty stubborn when it comes to what he believes. He doesn't bend over for anything. Now, if it comes out that it's guilty and all this stuff, does John actually step and go, it's horrible, I did not know this man? Like when they say Benoit's a monster. There are still people out there who's like, Benoit was good to me. When they did that Benoit Dark Side of the Ring, you had people on there. It's like, me and Chris was great. I never knew this about Chris, and I love him and I miss him. And are we supposed to damnation them? No. They knew him on another level. Can't excuse what he did, but they knew him on another level, and that's what maybe with John with Vince McMahon.
No, I get it, man. But let's move on. I'm over Brock. I'm over the conversation. I really am. Just because.
No. Let me just say this, okay? Because now that Brock is back, and you brought up CM Punk, right? We'll see, because you said, what if CM Punk was the one who came out and said something? What if he says something? What if Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins is not shy about saying anything.
Yeah,
he has. I mean, I mean, again, you go back to the Hogan stuff. He always, when he talked about Hogan before Hogan died, he was respectful, yet he was like, he never gave a form. He was like, hey, Hogan's been nothing but good to me. We've always had positive interactions with each other. All this whatnot. I came into wrestling because of Hulk Hogan, but I don't excuse what he did. He's never apologized really for what he did. So I'm not cool with that. And so that's Seth Rollins is not afraid to say. So if we got to look at that, what does Seth say to this? What is and now the one way I guess you could figure out if CM Punk does anything about it or has a feeling about it, does CM Punk work with Brock? If he never works with Brock in this run, in their final run here in WWE, we'll know where they stand, because if they're cool with it, you know damn well eventually they're gonna butt heads. It makes way too much sense. Brock versus CM Punk. And beforehand, before all this noise, CM Punk had no issue with Brock Lesnar. Had no issue with Brock. He spoke highly of Brock Lesnar. So it's obvious, like, hey, okay, if he works with Brock, then we know, hey, it's just business. I'm here to make money, not friends.
Yeah. I mean, I can't take CM Punk. I love CM Punk. I think CM Punk is I think let me say this. CM Punk had the best performance of the entire weekend. His match. I think what CM Punk did, I think him winning the title, all of his emotions, he was the best. So, but I can't trust him anymore because everything he says is either a lie or he goes back on. I'll never go to Saudi. Well, right? We all know that situation. So like really, he's just what's best for Phil Brooks and how do I keep making money, because I don't know what he was doing before wrestling, but I guess he came back for a reason and he said it. I'm here to, and again, love CM Punk now, big fan, think he's the best. But he was there to make money. He's not there to make friends. So I guess he would just work for Brock, even if it is unethical, because he went to Saudi. He said he never would. So I guess Phil Brooks, CM Punk will do anything for business these days, which I'm not against. Not against.
Yeah, well, we'll see where it goes from here. We know eventually, and I was talking. I had me and Adrian of the Rainy Day Podcast, host of the Rainy Day Podcast, host of Real Raw for 2 Raw for SmackDown on the Rainy Day Pod. We were on Finn's Talk Today together, and we kind of touched on SummerSlam a little bit. You know, it's just we'll see where it goes. The truth is, now that Brock is back, we know it's like, okay, we know obviously he's not going to work in Paris. He might interfere. He might cost John Cena the match against Logan Paul, and then we'll have John versus Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel or Survivor Series. You know, because it's coming up now. We're almost to December, so I think Crown Jewel, even though it's not in Saudi, it's in Australia, right? So we'll see. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar just being back alone and WWE saying F it, because that's what didn't surprise me. This is WWE TKO. Look who their people are. Look, you know what I mean? Like the UFC, look at what they've had. It did not surprise me that, you know, once Brock was like, hey, he's not the one being sued here. He's included, but he's not being sued. He's just in there. It was like, eventually this is going to come down. And they did it. And now it leaves a lot of open possibilities of what's next to come for the character of Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Here's what's next to come. Put him in the damn game. You know? Like if we're going to say screw it.
I'm with you. Yes, just do it. Just put him in the game. Do it. I'm sick of having to look at cause and you know, they don't have the right music or you see the face is not the same. Yeah, just throw him in the video game. Get it over with. Yeah. He's in, you know, you have the file. Just put him in. They put Aleister Black. Aleister Black wasn't always in there. He just showed up. Yeah. So you could do it without putting him in a DLC. Just do it.
Yeah,
F it.
Throw him in. Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have Goldberg in there. You know, that's something that just annoys the hell out of me.
I'm okay with that.
I know you are, but I'm just saying, like, you know, he should be there, you know. But anyway, CM Punk. Let's get into that very quick. Yeah. Again, I will tell you, for me, I really did enjoy SummerSlam. You know, as a whole, there was obviously some flaws with it, right? There are some things we whatever, but as a whole, I thought it was a very entertaining show. Both main events and the finale of the main events, really 2 shock factors on both nights. The match with CM Punk and Gunther was a lot of fun. The emotion of it was really cool. I'll be honest, I like Gunther a lot, and he's old school, but you know, I don't know, dude. There's never been really a match where I'm like, oh wow,
really.
CM Punk made that match. You know, when you go, oh, you got those false finishes and everything else. The finale was great. We know Gunther will be out for a little while. Gives him time to rest. Probably come back for the Royal Rumble. You know, maybe we get that Brock versus Gunther match. Maybe that was supposed to happen a couple years ago. CM Punk wins. I know we always said that's the stepping stone championship. This is but it felt right. It looked good. The belt looks awesome. CM Punk, I was like, man, I'm ready for this. Ready for this. And then you hear the burn it down. And here comes Seth with and at first I was like, because I said it to my kid, I said right before I was burn it down, joking around, and all of a sudden here it comes. And when I saw him coming out walking gingerly to the ring, and he's just standing there saying, "Oh, he's letting him remember. He's reminding him that he has the money." And I'm saying to myself, if that was legitimate, they make Seth come out just to say that. Stop! Don't waste their time. Make it like make it like a shocking moment. He comes in and does it, and then he goes to turn around and drops the crutches, and we're like, oh shit, that was one of the coolest. And just like John Cena's face from the night after, CM Punk's face. This just tells you, this is what I mean by story. They're telling a story by their faces. When you see CM Punk going and his big baggy eyes and Seth is coming down, you're like, oh shit. You're like, okay, we're only gonna get a 2-minute championship of CM Punk. And Seth does it and beats the hell out of him, wins the match, steals the belt. What was your thought on that? I know you would love. I think you were happy with CM Punk winning. It would have been awesome to see a little bit of a longer run. But for me, and I would have loved it, and I would have been totally okay with CM Punk being the champion right now. Let's give it a run. Couple of stings. Gives Seth Rollins a chance to heal up. Seth Rollins cashes in one day. We knew where it was going. It happens that day. It's obviously was a ruse. It was all for show. He wasn't really hurt. Do you think this was the right decision? Because I do. I think it was awesomely done. I love it. I'm ready to ride with it.
Yeah, it was great. Because the way the match set up, because I didn't have a great Saturday night. I thought the show was dragging along. I thought it was even the beginning of the match, the Roman Reigns tag match, everything just dragged. To me, I was like, come on, let's get it over with. And then CM Punk and Gunther open with a 10-minute of just chain wrestling. It was just 10 minutes of just them holding hands, strength moves, like old school. It looks like an old school person put it together, and that's fine. Different. But man, I was already falling asleep because this show was so boring. And then they finally pick it up. And then I see some color and we got excitement. And then we get the whole finish and yada, yada, yada. It's good times. Seth comes out. I'm going, sucks. I grab my keys because I'm at my buddy's house. Like, I'm out, man. Because I saw The Rock come out once and did the 1, 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is nothing.
See, so you were with me. I was the same way. I was like, I hope this is not one of those stupid things. This is a total waste.
So like, this is just the worst. Like, he's just going to tell him he's here. So I'm like, come on, pull a Willy Wonka. Let's get a Willy Wonka going. Let's do it. No Willy Wonka. He turns around. I'm like, whatever. I'm out, guys. Peace out. And my boy's like, yo. And I'm like, oh. And I go sit back down and then we watch it. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And it was awesome. Like, it made night one. It didn't salvage night one, but it made that moment. Like, Seth he has 2 top 3 moments of cashing in. Like 2. He's the best at doing it. And it's genius. And I don't know how they keep on doing it with him. It was a night that, of course, we'll all remember. And the night after on Monday Night Raw with him coming out, like, that title meant the title on Gunther was cool. I'm not like you. I like Gunther's matches. But Gunther, to me, his promos, just the way he could be a heel by telling the truth and there's no cheating. Like, he doesn't, he's just a guy. He's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy, but he's cocky. He's arrogant. So we don't like him. I like his matches. I think his matches are great. But when he wears that title, it looks a lot different with CM Punk hugging the title. And then it looks a lot different with CM Punk holding that title. Now the title looks like a real title.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right. And
I don't think but we wouldn't have got there without CM Punk's emotion, with I said it on Real Talk Wrestling, he's the best at getting the most sweat out of his body ever. His hair's soaking wet. He's got his eyes are all baggy. He looks like he looks like he just went through hell and back. And that's before the match. He always looks like that. Then after the match, he looks even worse. And then he sees Seth come out. You see him just like, oh man. That made that, because he's clinching onto that title so tough. that makes that title so much more. CM Punk winning it, clinching it, like doing everything, and then just having it taken away. Because I think if he did it, I think if Seth took it from Gunther, it wouldn't have been as special.
No. And right now, that belt, even on Seth Rollins, that moment, you're at 100%, not 100, 1000% correct. That moment with CM Punk after he won the belt, the way he reacted, it wasn't just another belt. He was clinging onto it. He was something, we always said, like, if CM Punk's going to win, why would he go after that belt? It's a secondary. Why would Roman go after that belt? Well, guess what? Now Roman will go after that belt because of that moment with CM Punk. And guess what? That belt right now, because of that moment and because of what followed with Seth Rollins and the way he's carrying that belt right now, that belt is equal to the WWE Championship now. Like, yes.
Oh, I'm more interested.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm more interested. I'm not interested in another Cody run. Like, I'm not.
I know. No.
But what I mean is, he's holding the title now. He's holding the title on SmackDown, the secondary show. Think about this. That title had so much prestige, but you guys got to understand, SmackDown's the secondary show. It's not Netflix. It's USA Network. So that is the secondary show. And now Cody is the champion on the secondary show.
Keep talking. I'm going to mute my mic for
so therefore, it's Seth coming out on the main show, which is Netflix. That's why it is that's not why it's the most important show, because if Gunther's holding it on there, but the fact that we just went through everything. CM Punk wins it, means so much to him. Boom, Seth takes it. It was great. And then we have Bronson Reed coming out with the shoes still. We have Paul Heyman with his smug look. Braun Breaker looking like a beast. Like, that title means so much more now than it ever has. And Seth was the first person to hold the title. But Seth's first run wasn't as good as this one's going to be, because this one actually has meaning. Although, I will say this, hate the name, The Vision.
Oh, it's stupid. I hate it.
Hate it.
So dumb. Like, who thought of that? Like, Evolution, Bloodline, Degeneration X, Nexus. Okay, let's come up with the next best name. The Vision.
No,
what?
It reminds me of hey, Shawn, like Triple H calls Shawn Michaels. Hey, you guys got some NXT names that you didn't run with? Oh yeah, like that Gargano group. The Way, we were gonna do The Vision. You can use The Vision. Like,
that's funny that you said The Way, because I made The Vision in WWE. I created a stable for it, and I obviously didn't have The Vision on there, so I chose The Way. I just chose The Way as as an announced team thing. So that's funny that you say that. No, you're right. And, I'm going to tell you right now, back in the day when to me, it was one of was Ruthless Aggression era. Triple H with the world heavyweight title, the big gold, JBL, SmackDown, Batista, all those other, when it was really JBL who had that belt, the WWE title.
Mm-hmm.
The big gold to me was way more important than the WWE title. When Triple H had that belt, that's where I think this might be headed because if you have CM Punk and Seth Rollins going for that belt, possibly Roman Reigns, that belt's going to mean so much more by the end of the year. That whoever carries it right after them, whether it's Gunther again or Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed or whomever it may be, it's going to put them on a whole other level. Because you were relying on a Damian Priest, who did great. Damian Priest, Jey Uso, Gunther, you were relying on these young guys to elevate that title. Now you're allowing CM. That's the same thing where you go, Becky Lynch, put Becky Lynch as a champion. She's going to elevate that championship and the stories around it. That's what happened. Her, Valkyria, and Bayley, they elevated the IC title. It's more important than the women's United States title. That's where this world championship headed and is heading. I'm with you. That's why I say when I wish John would have kept it, because I think it would have meant more with a babyface John Cena with the WWE title. Oh my God, Cody loses, John's in the ring, John's celebrating, and let's say it's a Brock Lesnar, coming out, and then it's gonna mean more because now can babyface John survive? Now you're saying, well, John Cena as a heel wins matches, babyface John can't win a match. He hasn't won a match in how many years? That's why I was like, could have gave him that one. Cody could have won it later on, could have done something, but it's fine. It is what it is. Cody's the top babyface in the company. It is what it is. But where does it go to? Where do you go from here with Cody Rhodes? I don't know. Yeah, he's going to have a match with Drew McIntyre. But guess what? Do we really think Drew's going to win that match? No.
Unfortunately.
That's right.
And this. I'm sorry. The ship has sailed on this Orton heel turn on Cody. To me, it's sailed. It's over. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Orton as a bad guy again. I think he's doing really well as a baby face. I just
shout
don't
out to Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll did pretty damn good.
I think so too.
It was an entertaining match. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think that was fun. Like that was one of the most fun moments of with the frog splash and the table spot. I thought it was funny that Jelly Roll wouldn't lay on the table because when he was laying like that, like just kind of like perched up on it, I'm like, he's gonna move. I thought he was gonna move because of the way. I'm like, if he's laying on the table, he's not a good enough athlete to roll off in time to actually make it look real. So I'm like, oh, they're definitely making him stand and they kind of like lay on it so he can move. Nope. So I'm surprised he took that. I hated him fighting off security to get back in the ring.
I know.
I hated that so much.
That's to me, that's the most and I say this like not unbelievable. It is the most unbelievable thing. I hate with a passion when people when they fight security or when they fight the cops. When they start punching the cops and everything else. It's like, you really think that would happen? You really think that, like we know it's for show, we know it's a story, we know it's entertainment, but there's certain things where it's like, you're going to get tased. I would love to see one day, if you really want to make me, I don't care if it's WWE, TNA, AEW, whomever, I would love to see the day when a wrestler attacks security the police in the show when the cop's trying to stop and then all of a sudden you see the cop come out with a taser and they start beating the crap out of him. I would love to see the day the cops in wrestling fight back because it's bullshit. It's just
Tony, if you're watching, don't do it because you're gonna get Tony Khan's stupid ideas.
You want me to watch your show, to wear the AEW gold. Do what I'm telling you to do, brother. The cops fight back. Think about the faction, the police. Okay? I'll be watching you. That's their intro. They try to fight him. John Moxley starts swinging and punching Tony Storm. Whatever. Tase the shit out of them. That's realistic. Do it.
This freaking guy, man. Like, really?
Come on.
Tasing people?
Tase the shit out of them.
Everyone's just on the ground.
That would be so real to me. I'm like, that was epic. Wow. Instead of, oh, they're punching a police officer, choke slam, like I can understand a monster like Brock freaking out and swinging and it's hard to bring him down and you just have to, but like, when they have these little skinny dudes or they're punching security and punching the cops, like
Jungle Boy's out there.
Oh God.
Pounds of them just
freaking soaking wet, 120 pounds soaking wet, just they're falling over. It's like
so eventually the security guards need to get a win. That's what you want. You
100%
security guards to get a win.
I think it would pop. I think the fans would pop if security went and started.
It would make that wrestler would be dead on notice. Like the next time they would come out, he or she or whoever it is, they would be humiliated. Hey, that's the guy who the first time security ever won.
That's why you got to do it with the right person. You got to do it with someone who could outlast that. Someone like back in the day, right? The Miz. If that would have happened to the Miz, he could survive that. Chelsea Green right now could survive that. You do that to a Chelsea Green where she kind of smacks security and all of a sudden they just start getting and she's like, what? Like it's like, she could survive that because that's she loves that. I didn't see this clip yet, but when she was talking about, they need someone to get pinned. They need someone to get beat, thrown around. I don't always have to go over. I'm on TV. I'm like, thank you.
That's episode 3, by the way. I watched it.
Thank you. I have to get back, but I heard that and I'm like, that's why I'm a ride or die fan of Chelsea Green. If she's in WWE for whatever he ever goes to TNA, AEW, whatever, I'm gonna ride and die with her because not only is she like that, where she's about entertaining the fans. It's not about me, my. She's also a great damn wrestler too. She's fun as hell. And she puts herself in harm's way. So I'm ride and die Chelsea Green. But I think she is someone who could survive that. Somebody needs to do it. It has to happen one time.
Maybe once. But I got to get to this comment. Do it to Sammy. Tired of us push. That's where I was going next, brother. That's what I think we're gonna see eventually. I think we end
Ooh.
this story with Sami Zayn taking down Seth Rollins. Everyone, because think about it. Who do you think? Do you think it's CM Punk's situation? Do you think CM Punk should be the one to vanquish Seth Rollins?
Well, first of all, let me just apologize, everybody, because I had no idea. Because I didn't see any comments. I had the comments burned, but usually I'll see like the notification that there are comments,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't see any. So I'm just reading the comments now. So I apologize to those who I did not see. Justin, what's up, Justin, in the Ruckus Wrestling Podcast? I love you, buddy. Appreciate you, brother. That's probably to my whole security guard promo. Yeah, go ahead. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross?
Yeah, people are saying that Cross would have killed Sammy. I thought that was a fine match. It is what it is. Don't really like the whole. I always hate when like the bad heel manager grabs, like helps the babyface. Do it, hit him, right? Same situation happened where he had the lead pipe and he could have hit Karrion Kross, but decided not to do it. But again, Sami Zayn has said it from day one since his first interactions with Seth. I'm gonna be a world champion. He's saying this for a reason. He's saying it on Raw weekly for a reason. Eventually, we're going to get the Sami Zayn Seth Rollins match for the World Championship. I think he should be the one to dethrone him, not CM Punk.
Listen, I'm sick of Sammy Hogan. No, I'm just playing. I don't mean that. Look, I am a big fan of Karrion Kross. His promos, I think he could be a star, but he's one of those guys that when I watch him in the ring, I'm not sold on him. He hasn't sold me yet. You know what I mean? Like when I watch Sami Zayn, and you look at Sammy, right? You look at Sammy, and if you didn't know Sami Zayn as the wrestler, and you watch, and you don't see him in the ring, but you look at him, you're like, what is that? That's a professional, right? But when he's in that ring, he's believable. You could get behind him. He makes the crowd get behind him, right? Like he's a storyteller. Not only is he great in the ring, he's a storyteller. Kross is not there yet. Kross is, and trust me, I want him to be. When I'm playing 2K, he's one of my main guys, right? He's one of my main guys up there. Him and Solo, those are guys. But like when I watch him, I just in the ring, outside the ring, all day, dude's main event. Outside the ring on the mic, he's a main event player. Inside the ring, I'm just not there yet. I don't feel it. I can't see it. So why should Kross go over? Just to go over? What's that going to do for Kross? Nothing. I mean, I get it. Like, oh, Sami Zayn wins again. Sami Zayn is Sami Zayn. It's not championship material. That's what Maria says. Maria, what's up, girl? Great to see you. But Sami Zayn is not world champion material. They said the same for Jey Uso,
Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston,
Jericho,
Eddie Guerrero.
They said the same thing until
Edge.
they were.
Edge.
Until they were. Sami Zayn. Let me tell you again. I think Sami Zayn should have won the undisputed title when he faced Roman Reigns. It was all there. And I'm not saying, again, it's what it is, right? That time, but think about that moment. Think about what would have happened if that was the moment. The crowd would have went nuts. The crowd was behind Sami Zayn, not just because we all love Sami Zayn. He's the good guy. We all get behind. He's funny. He's this, he's that. But he's a legitimate babyface. He got the crowd behind him. It was like, oh, it's going to be over. He's going to lose. Oh my God, wait, he's coming back. Haluva kick. 1, 2. Imagine if he would have said 3. That moment.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar. Eddie's never going to beat Brock. Eddie's not world championship material. Look how small he is. Look at that. There's no way he beats Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar would cut him, would break him in half. Kross would break Sami Zayn in half. Brock Lesnar would break Eddie Guerrero in half. There's no way. What happened when he did? It was one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. And I'm not saying Sami Zayn is Eddie Guerrero. I'm not saying that. But it was one of the greatest moments in history of professional wrestling with Eddie Guerrero winning. It was one of the goosebump on the arms, Dwayne Johnson style moments. And it was one of the best championship runs. He was one of our favorite champions. He's not a 14-time, 17-time, 18-time. He's like, 2-time champion, I think? I don't know. Maybe just 1 time. I don't know how many times he held the world title. But it's the one a lot of us talked the most about was Eddie Guerrero's championship run. So, yes, Sammy is championship material. That's where I am. And Canada just proves to be a great wrestling town too. Montreal,
Town.
I mean, Montreal.
Canada. What a great town of Canada. My favorite town in the whole.
Montreal. Shut up. You know what I meant. Montreal, Canada,
It's
brother.
great, man. What
I'm
do
gonna
they
cut
have
a
up
promo
there?
on you, bro.
What's
I got
there?
the mic.
Tim Hortons. I watched a lot of Kevin Smith movies back in my day. I know a little bit about Canada. But no,
Canada.
Sami Zayn. How much we forget how over he was in the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that he's not world championship material. This to say he's not world championship material makes me sad, Maria. I'm not upset that you said it because obviously if you believe it, you believe it. But it makes me sad because if you view him that way, that means others do, and I just view him as a top player for the company because, like you said, he is the Rocky Balboa from Rocky 1. You don't expect him to be there. He's not supposed to be there. He's the underdog, and he somehow gets beat up for 15 minutes. Boom. Blue Thunder Bomb, Haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. He did it. Unbelievable. And we pop every time. Every time he hits the Haluva kick, just if you want to bring up the Brock Lesnar, every time the music hits, every time he hits the Haluva kick, 1, 2, 3, every time. Even on Raw, SmackDown, the fans love Sami Zayn. Mega over. Did you see anything else on SummerSlam that you said you liked the show? The only thing other than the ladder match was just too much to go through over. Those guys did a crazy, match. It was good to see Devon on TV. It was good to see Matt and Jeff on WWE television. That match was whatever. Like, I didn't really care about it, but it was crazy to see. I thoroughly enjoyed AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio. I thoroughly enjoyed.
You're asking me. That's what I was going to bring up.
The throwback to Eddie Guerrero with the tights, the 20-something year anniversary, whatever it was. I loved all of that. I loved the lowrider. I mean, that's not even including the match. And I actually liked the match itself. Dominic looks like a real contender.
Yep.
He didn't look like a scared heel or a cowardly heel, even though he is. But he looked like somebody that can go with AJ Styles and be believable and go, oh yeah, he won. Of course he did. It's Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, it's Dominic Mysterio, one of the biggest stars in the company. So I really enjoyed that match as well. She's done. Jade's buried. Jade will never get a title shot again. Jade's done.
Let me ask you. I know how you feel about Jade Cargill, but you think she should have gone over?
No. She shouldn't even have been in that situation.
Yeah.
It should have been anyone else.
I don't know. You make her lose clean, and I was like, "What are you doing with her? What was that? That was a."
She shouldn't have been. You know what it was? To me, this is what I saw.
Okay.
They put her there. They put her over Asuka, and that's when we go, okay. They made the decision, and I think they regretted it week in, week out, and they had to go through the match, and they're just like, get it over with. Tiffany, pin her, and I think she's done until she can improve. I think she's done. There's no situation because if she would have, she lost clean, like you said. That just tells me that they're like, okay, we're gonna move on from her and we're gonna do other things. You could have put Valkyria in there. That would have been a banger match. And Valkyria still could have lost. It's fine. She's a rookie, and it would have made her look good. But you put Jade. That was a big mistake. And I think everyone's been on Paul Levesque, Triple H's balls for a while. Like, just, he's doing everything's right. He's been fumbling the ball a lot more lately in 2025 than he has making big plays. The John Cena heel turn was great. What followed up? Nothing redeeming. Really nothing redeeming. It was one of the worst runs that we can imagine for John Cena. And I think you can agree with that after seeing the face turn.
What I said today when we briefly talked about it on Fence Talk today is that the turn itself was great. It was an epic moment. The run was a failure. The heel run was a failure. And I put that more on The Rock on that situation. If you wanted to turn John Cena heel, you could have done that without The Rock. Or The Rock, if he can't be there at the arena, make him film it from outside. He's like the Emperor Palpatine on Star Wars, Darth Sidious. He's in the shadows. You see him on the Titantron. talking and whatever, being like, and John Cena's is Darth Vader. John Cena could eventually he could beat The Rock. He's done it before, but somehow he's under the sway of. They could have done that. I think that's where they failed. I blame The Rock for it. Like I'll say it like Rikishi said, I did it for The Rock. I blame The Rock. I blame The Rock for the failure of the John Cena heel run.
But there's more that he fumbled, like the whole Jade situation.
Sure, there's fumbles, right?
Charlotte and Tiffy fumbled that whole situation. Like, there's a lot of things he's been doing.
But I don't agree. The Charlotte Alexa Bliss thing is a success so far. I mean, that's
and
you know why?
You know why? You know why? You know why? Because finally, Charlotte has humbled herself, and she's acting like a pro wrestler. Oh, you're gonna give me this? Well, I'm just gonna do it for you instead of. This doesn't work for me, brother. And you can tell. I'm enjoying this Charlotte. I loved, and you guys know how I feel about Charlotte. When the fans were getting behind her at SummerSlam, I was popping for her, and I felt so good for her. And when I was watching WWE Unreal today, episode 3, it heavily featured
you were popping for who?
Charlotte. I was. I love this. This is great.
Whoa.
Because you know what? People can change. Listen, people can change. And I didn't like CM Punk about 3-4 years ago. Now he's one of my favorite wrestlers. Like, if I see improvement in people and humility, Charlotte's doing her thing. This tag team is working for her. I would love to see this conversation. WWE Unreal Season 2, I want to see the conversation of, look, I know that was brutal. The fans don't like you. You're this and this.
So proud of you.
Let's change things up a little bit. Let's do something different with you. There was probably pushback, but then Triple H is probably like, look, it's going to work. It's going to work. Just do it. Now the fans are getting behind her. It's awesome to see. It really is cool to see.
Because she's being Ashley. She's being herself. That's it. And people are recognizing who she is. And it's awesome. And I'm freaking proud of you. Legit tears in my eyes. Right here. GOAT. That's what she is. Treat her like the GOAT.
She's not the GOAT.
She is the GOAT.
But you know what? You know why she is the GOAT? What? You know what? What is work? By the way, I didn't think about this. This is going to go against everything I said.
I knew it. Here it comes.
I didn't think about this at SummerSlam, but when I watch Raw and I see Charlotte and Alexa pull up, I'm like, God darn it. They're the tag team champions. They're going to be on Raw every night now. I'm so mad. I got to see Charlotte again. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. But I was super heavily annoyed that Charlotte was on my Netflix Raw this Monday night or last Monday night. But if she's doing things like this and humbling herself, and this is going to turn out good. This is going to turn out awesome for Charlotte Flair, because what happened with Roman? You shove him in our face. He comes out here. This is my yard now. We don't want that. We don't want you, Paul, Triple H, Vince, whoever's booking, to tell us who to like. We want to like who we want to like. And when Charlotte acts like this, we want to like her.
What does that mean?
Bianca's not the GOAT either. The GOAT's not even in WWE.
Stop it. Just stop.
She's not.
Charlotte is the GOAT, man.
She's not.
Let's go, bro.
She's not.
I mean, and then like right there's like Trish, it's like, come on, dude, what are we doing?
Trish.
No,
Trish. Nikki Bella's next. What, Nikki? Yeah, all those.
What's wrong with? Don't be hate on Nikki, man. Nikki puts herself on the line.
All these diva championships, right?
Whatever. They opened the way, and they did their job and they did it well. And they started the path. And then Charlotte just was a trailblazer. Charlotte was like, 5-star matches with this person. Oh, you like Oprah, you get a 5-star match. No, you get a 5-star match. Everybody gets a 5-star match.
I'm checking Dave Meltzer's rankings right now. WWE.
I don't give a shit about. Sorry, I don't care about Dave Meltzer's rankings.
Dave Meltzer hasn't had a 5-star Charlotte match ever. I don't think
because he's probably his real name's not Dave Meltzer. It's Dave Kimmel. He's a hater.
Whoa,
he's a Charlotte hater.
Whoa, no, he's probably not a Charlotte. I don't know if he likes Charlotte or not. I really have no idea.
Sorry, Dave. I didn't know, bro. I just thought we were sorry.
I have no idea who he likes. That's the funny thing. I never hear. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I play a lot of WWE 2K or whatever, and I'll turn on music. I listen to headphones. But Dave's a person I never listen to. I think he's a complete moron. But
I don't
Where
have
are
an
we going
opinion.
with
I mean,
this?
and this is with all due respect, I don't have an opinion really on Dave Meltzer. I know of Dave Meltzer because it's Dave Meltzer. I know him because everybody else talks about him. I've never read any of his articles. I've never cared for what his ratings are because I only care about what I think of the matches. I don't let anybody dictate how I'm going to feel. And Josh knows this because he's the same way. No one's going to dictate to me how good or bad a match is or how bad or good a story is. That's up to the fan, the one particular fan watching it, because you don't need that one guy. You need the crowd. And so
Well,
Milter,
it's
so
just life,
I
though.
have no hate on Milter because I don't really pay attention to him.
That's life, though, right?
Who
My
doesn't
friend
want
said
what he
Happy Gilmore
does?
2 sucked. I'm like, I watch Happy Gilmore 2. It's fucking awesome.
I
Sorry.
love Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, 2. I like 2
Part
a
two. It
lot.
was fun.
But
It
all
was
my
fun.
friends told me it was terrible. I'm like, this was good. So that's just don't let people sweat. I think people do that, though. I think people, and it just drives me nuts. I do it with things. I do it with certain things. Certain things like
Wrestling.
No, I don't. I don't listen to other people's comments.
Oh no,
right?
sorry. I thought you meant like say something sucks and when it's supposed to be good and everything else. But yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't. Somebody like I actually said it to my son yesterday because my son was like, "But so and so does it." And I said, you should know this by now. And I really do mean this with all love and respect to everybody. I don't give a what anybody thinks. I have no care in the world how this person does this or how I do it this way. This is how I do it. Oh, but so and so does it. So and so says it's okay. I don't care what they say. No one's gonna make me now. They might now, Josh. You may be making a point, and and then I'm thinking, I go, oh, damn, that's a great point. Okay, I didn't see it that way. That's different. I don't mean it that way. But I mean like, no, I'm not gonna do it because everybody else says, oh, let's hate on Meltzer. I don't know Meltzer. I haven't really cared too much. I don't care. I know Bischoff hates him. I know Russo hates him. I think Cornette does too. I know
for sure
Kimmel
he
hates
does.
him. I know Kimmel does.
I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. And I want to say this about my fantasy football community as well. I was very vocal on my disdain for, not disdain, that's a bad word. I didn't think Shedeur Sanders was going to be a thing. I thought I didn't, but I did not like his fall. I did not like the fall. I wanted him to see him drafted. I am a fan now. You know why? I root for people to come up, and I think everything is scripted in life, brother. Sports, wrestling. I think it's all work. And I do think that they set this up like, oh, people don't like him because of how cocky he is in his situation. Let's make him get drafted super, super late so people want to root for him. That's what happened. Just let everyone know that. Everything's a work, brother, in case you didn't know. But moving on to the whole wrestling situation. Bring this back into the wrestling terms. Let's circle back around to Brock Lesnar because we do have a comment in the chat, and I do want to finish off with this. What should be next for Gunther when he comes back? How many Finns players did I draft? In fantasy football, I'm only touching one person from the Miami Dolphins, and his name is Achan because I'm a fan of Achan, and I'm not touching nobody else. I don't believe in Waddle. I don't want Tyreek. I think Tyreek will be moved by week 6. And Tua, I'm just, it is what it is, brother. I love Tua. I want to see Tua be awesome. I want to see Tua succeed. I just don't think it's going to happen with this coaching staff. I think Mike McDaniels has got to go. Got to go. I'm over it. I've been over it since Vapegate, by the way. I've been over it since Vapegate. I'm not a newcomer to this. Get Mike McDaniels out of here. But yeah, Achan's my favorite player for the Dolphins currently for fantasy football.
So sorry, my youngest came in here, and so but you were saying about fantasy. So Shedeur, he's somebody like when I first watched him, I was like, I don't really see it. I saw a few of his games, watched some film, and I had a 3rd round on him. So it wasn't surprising me when he fell through the 1st and the 2nd. When he went to the 5th, that was surprising. But I did draft him in the charity league for Fantasy Now. Later in the draft, I took him. And so I'm hoping that he actually is good. And he actually had a decent game, but after one game, I'm not going to, sell the farm on him. I'm like, this is it.
I was bringing that up to like Gunther and Lesnar because we did have a question about. That's why I was circling back around to Lesnar about. I wonder if I'm ever going to like him or root for him because we are, and this is where we're circling around. Probably our last topic of the night because we have a question. When Gunther comes back, what do we see him doing? And I'm already seeing in the chat Lesnar versus Gunther. Yes, if he's back, if Brock is back, period. I don't care. He's back. Do I agree with it? No. Do I think it's awesome? No. But if he's here, he's here. And we got to work with what we work with. That's what I always tell my wife. Well, they don't have this at the deli. Well, but they have this. we got to just work with it. That's the way I am. If we don't have something, go to McDonald's. Hey, we're all out of apple pies. Oh well, I'll get a McFlurry if I wanted to. You know, I'm a very go with the flow. So Brock's here. It is what it is. Gunther's the match. WrestleMania, Gunther, Brock. That has to be the match. That has to be it. Brock should come back, get beat by Cena, go away for a while, and then when Gunther comes back, it could be spoiled again by Brock. I'm okay with that. And we have a babyface Gunther and a heel Brock. That's what I would like to see. And I want to see Brock lose, of course, to Gunther.
I want to see if he's back and is what it is. So now that he is, again, it opens the door for so many possibilities of what we could see. The matches we thought we'd never see, we're going to see. Gunther versus Lesnar. We've heard that in the past. Does it happen? I'll be honest with you. I think that I don't know if I really want to see Gunther versus Lesnar. I don't know how invested I would be in that match. So it's those two powerhouses. We get to see two powerhouses go at it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't carry the same weight as Goldberg versus Lesnar or, whatever. I'd rather see, because I think the plan is WrestleMania, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, right? I think that might be the plan where they might be headed eventually. Right?
I think they run back the triple threat for the championship.
Oh, so okay. Because that was my thing. Because what is CM Punk going to do?
Yeah, I think they run back.
I think you could run it back. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. I think that I would rather see that than Gunther.
Oh, if you're not going to give me Gunther versus Brock, I'd rather see Braun Breaker versus Lesnar.
Again, that's just two powerhouses. And and you know what though? I get it, right? It could Brock can work with anybody. That's the truth. I mean, you put him against AJ Styles, he's going to have a great match. You do it, right? So I'm not going to sleep on any of those two guys, but I don't know how that would play. I think, there you go. Maria says Gunther versus Brock or Brock versus Braun Breaker. Breaker might be in the title match. It might be Braun versus Seth. Maybe. Because that's the natural way of things with a faction. Eventually one guy breaks off, i.e. Batista, Triple H. Or Randy versus Triple H, but it was more Batista had that story. I think Braun and Seth Rollins are going in that direction. Exactly. I just don't know if Braun Breaker versus Brock, just two powerhouses. It would have to be a quick match and probably would go Braun Breaker's way, kind of like what they did with Drew. Do
you think the people would have popped if Batista came back instead of Brock? I brought that name up. I don't know if he was even wrestling. I don't even know how old Batista is or where
he's lost so much weight. He has no interest. He said he had his fairy tale ending with Triple. I think anytime you hear that music, because it's Batista, you would pop. But I just don't know how.
That was a great rival too. Like I
thought it was, and I would be 100% down if Batista's in shape and ready to go. But yeah, skinny ass Batista.
I haven't seen him. I don't watch movies, guys.
You know what though? Shout out to Batista, because like The Rock, like Randy, but Batista more, what he's been able to do in Hollywood is crazy. Cena versus Gunther. I think we may get that. If the injury is legitimate and longer term, we might not. But I think eventually we may get it. I just don't know.
I think that's the last match. I think that's the last match.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. I think that's the very last match. I think Gunther, whether you like it or not, he's the future. People want to say Braun's the future. I think, and I know nobody's going to want to agree with me. I get it. Gunther's the bigger star. I think he's going to be the longer reigning WWE employee and champion for a long time.
Well, Undertaker gave him some real big flowers, because Undertaker said, hey, man, if I was ever in shape or in ring shape, or if I could just do one more match, that's what Undertaker told him. He said, if I could do one more match, you'd be my opponent. And of course, that's high praise from Undertaker to Gunther. And that just tells you what he thinks, and probably management think of Gunther. He's safe. It's despite what Bret Hart says. Bret Hart has said that he's told Gunther that he doesn't like his wrestling style. He doesn't like him. In regard.
Bret Hart.
I know. But yeah. But anyway, we'll see how that plays out, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, man. But anyway, look. So this is the thing. Love it, hate it, whatever. The fact is, Brock Lesnar back in WWE truly was a shocking, eyebrow-raising, jaw-dropping moment. And love it or hate it, it opens up so many different possibilities and roadmaps and forks in the road for WWE and where they're going to go. we're going to see John versus Brock Lesnar. Do we see CM Punk run it back one more time? Does Roman and Brock run it back one more time? Gunther versus Brock. I mean, again,
Fatu versus Brock.
Oh my gosh, Jacob Fatu versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, there are so many different possibilities on where to go. So it makes you, guess what? People, I'm sure WWE knows, love it or hate it, everyone is tuned in. So that's all they wanted. It's ratings, baby. That's what happened. So, Josh, any final things we want to discuss before we wrap this one up?
No, man. I think everything that can be said. I highly advise you go watch Unreal. It's not what I wanted from a television show. They don't go in depth. They don't tell you behind the scenes stuff like they say they do. It's more of an expose on the characters and the pro wrestlers. So it's still cool to see Chelsea Green and Charlotte. But man, I wish they went more in depth. It's not what I thought it should be. But it's fine.
I think there's a little bit truth to it, but I think it's more work than it is. I think it's most of work.
Of course.
That's what I think. I think there's still curtains up, but it is what it is. There you go, Dish. You say Unreal is a work. Yep. It's still fun to watch, though. So, and we'll talk more about Unreal. I got to get back into it, and then we will do an episode based off Unreal and kind of going off of that. But anyway, everyone, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Fun show, fun topics, nonstop conversation. I love that when we could just keep going and going because there's so much to talk about and it's all interesting. I guess that's what happens when you have a killer PLE. Wrestling is in good hands. It's always fun. So that's Josh Kimmel. I'm Bobby Melendez. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next Saturday. Peace.